is Luke, and I have been cosplaying for about 2 years now.
My name is Nicolette Patai, and I've been cosplaying for a little over a year.
My name is Brianna, and I've been cosplaying for 4 years.
My name is Eric Hedrick. I've been cosplaying since 2009, so that puts me at roughly 5 years.
The definition of cosplay to me is dressing up as a character you feel very strongly about and going to a nerd convention where you share similar interests.
People dress up in costumes of characters or people who they either find comedy in or who they aspire to be.
Probably just getting to not be cool and dress up as cartoon characters and be nerds together.
Personifying and bringing to life characters that you've enjoyed and you've kind of bonded with and you've imprinted with from anime, manga, and other works of fiction and books and whatnot included.
And these people get together with a whole bunch of friends or even strangers who feel the same way and who all look up to these people and just want to try and be them just for at least a day or two.
They dress up as their favorite characters and they actually play it out. And we got about 40 of them out there putting on quite a show this afternoon.
I know. Who knew there was a society of them?
I had no idea.
One of the things you see outside our studio.
Yeah, and you can see some pretty darn interesting things, but this
That is true.
This is definitely high on that list.
Cosplay is the practice of dressing up as characters from anime, manga, comic books, movies, or other characters from pop culture. In addition to dressing up, individuals cosplaying sometimes take on the persona of characters they're portraying, donning the characteristics, voices, and attitude of the character.
I got into cosplay by being really passionate about the Hobbit premiere, and I wanted to be Thorin Oakenshield, so I decided to dress up like Thorin Oakenshield and go to Texas and spend a hot summer day dressed in leather and fur.
I have done approximately 6 cosplays so far. My favorite cosplay would be Princess Mononoke from the Studio Ghibli film Princess Mononoke. I had to handcraft the mask and all kinds of other crazy shenanigans that ended up taking a lot longer than I anticipated.
From the Legend of Korra series, one of the main characters is named Bolin. In that series, he's starts to becoming a movie star named Nuktuk. He's probably one of my favorite characters because I put the most time and effort into trying to become him, act like him, and just making his costume, which it took a lot of time and fake fur to build, and I was just like covered in it so many days, and it's probably one of my favorite characters.
Cosplay seems like a recent development in time. Most people have never seen or heard of it, but cosplay or costume play has been around since 1939. In 1939, Forrest J. Ackerman, creator of Voice of the Imagination magazine, and his co-editor Myrtle Douglas wore the world's first cosplays to the first World Science Convention in New York. Ackerman was dressed as a rugged star pilot, and Douglas wore a gown recreated from the 1936 film Things to Come. The costumes were such a huge success that a dozen more people wore their own costumes to next year's convention, thus sparking the emergence of cosplay. The majority of cosplays nowadays are from Japanese animation or video games, but that wasn't always the case. In the early days of cosplay, it was isolated mainly to North America. The only cosplays were those of science fiction and fantasy. This didn't change until the 1984 Los Angeles Worldcon, where Nove Takahashi was inspired by the costuming of the people at the convention. It was Takahashi who coined the term cosplay, derived from the English words costume and play. Takahashi reported his experience at Worldcon to Japanese science fiction magazines, which ignited the Japanese cosplay movement. After the people of Japan read of Takahashi's reports, anime characters became a thing to cosplay at Japanese conventions and events. It wasn't until the mid-1990s that anime and manga cosplaying hit America. This led to many cosplayers misinformed about the origins of cosplay. They believed that cosplay was invented in Japan.
Oh, I think cosplayers originated Probably from the weeaboo land of Japan. That's where all the other stuff, that's where our whole culture comes from, so I'd probably say it is Japan.
Cosplay can be different depending on where you're from. In North America, more people tend to make their own costumes and creativity is encouraged. In Japan, cosplay is more about being as identical to the character as possible. Homemade cosplay is not as common. Cosplay in Japan is also primarily done by young women, whereas cosplay in North America is practiced by all ages and all gender. At most conventions, there is some sort of costuming competition. The competitions are an opportunity for cosplayers to showcase their costuming skills on stage in front of a panel of judges and an audience. While cosplay is used in competition, cosplayers should not be ridiculed for their costuming skill level. After all, cosplay is all about having fun and becoming a character that you love.
When I last left you, I was down and out, but with guitar in hand, I stood out from the crowd. Tonight's the night that we're gonna have some fun. Just giving the look that's seducing me, 'cause I'm born to rule and I'm born to be king, 'cause I know the way to get to number one. Go ahead and ask me why we cheat and we lie to make a fan out of you. If I can sing a song, if I can make a stand, if I can give hope to a fellow man, then just tell me, just tell me, just tell me why I'm high like a paradise in the sky.
We managed to fit an entire lounge chair into the elevator, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. We were just riding up and down the elevator, just talking to people, handing out goldfish and whatnot. It was probably one of my favorite memories, because it wasn't about cosplay, it was about just making friends and experiencing it with people. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning, so everything's fun then.